Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Employer Showcase event featuring Corporate Gray. Founded in 1994 with one mission. They have one mission, ladies and gentlemen, to connect those who have served in the military with employers nationwide. Thousands of transitioning service members and veterans have participated in their military-friendly job fairs, and many more veterans have found their next employer through Corporate Gray online. Their their career transition services are free to all job seekers. You're going to be impressed with Corporate Gray, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rodney Washington, and I'm the Veterans Resource Coordinator for the Texas Workforce Commission, Texas Veterans Leadership Program out here in sunny El Paso, Texas, home of Fort Bliss and the veteran capital of the United States. On behalf of our staff, thank you for signing up and participating in today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of Corporate Gray, Mr. Carl Savino.
Rodney, thank you very much for that very warm introduction. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
It is a pleasure, brother. It is a pleasure.
So that I'm not worthy, Rodney. I'm not worthy. But
No, not at all. Carl, you want to say hello to the people overseas that are tuning in? They're saying hello to you. That I know you can't see them, but I'm being like the mediator here. You want me? You want to say hello to them?
Please do, Rodney. Whatever you think's appropriate, my friend. And also, when I said we have jobs nationwide, I probably should have said internationally, so that we include people in these other countries.
Yes, sir.
So let me start by bringing up my PowerPoint slides. So, Rodney, can you give me a confirmation that you're seeing my slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so again, hello, everyone. My name is Carl Savino, and I have the privilege of presenting to you the various career transition resources that we have made available now for almost 27 years to people who have served in our armed forces. So again, it's my privilege to be able to help you understand the resources that we offer to you. Everything that I'm going to show you today is at no charge. As Rodney said, it's at no charge to you. So Corporate Gray was founded in 1994, again, to repeat what Rodney said, to help those who have served of all ranks and all branches of service connect with employers both nationwide and overseas. In all honesty, most of probably about 99% of the job opportunities that you would find are going to be in the United States. There are three primary services that we offer to you. We have developed an ebook. It's titled The Military to Civilian Transition Guide. A little bit of background. I transitioned from the Army in 1992. 1994 came out with a book that I co-sponsored with Dr. Ron Cronick called From Army Green to Corporate Gray. We subsequently developed a Navy edition from Navy Blue to Corporate Gray, and then an Air Force edition from Air Force Blue to Corporate Gray. So just so you know, we didn't leave out the Marines or the Coast Guard. That was all part of the Navy book. About 5 or 6 years ago, we decided to combine all three titles into one, and it's now titled The Military to Civilian Transition Guide, and I'll talk about that more shortly. Second way that we can help you connect with veterans is through Corporate Gray Online. That's our online employment website, corporategray.com. You'll be encouraged to create a free account and search and apply for jobs of interest. You're also going to see where we show you our schedule of upcoming events. So the third leg of the stool in terms of resources that we help provide to veterans, with the goal of helping you connect with employers, is our job fairs. First, the ebook. So our Corporate Gray ebook is viewable for free at the link shown here, corporategray.com/book/transition guide-2023/index.html. Just so that we don't get any hand cramps here, I wanted to also let you know that I have provided Rodney with a PDF of all the slides that you're going to be seeing today. So again, Rodney, feel free, please, to share these slides in PDF format with all of the veterans who are online or who would later request a copy of these slides. Our book is basically a 100-page book. It's a very easy read. It helps you understand step by step the entire job search process upon leaving the service. So I would strongly encourage you to take advantage of the opportunity that we're providing through the book, again, to lead you step by step. In addition to, it's mostly a book, mostly text. In the front section of the book, there are recruitment ads by military-friendly employers, about 15 to 20 pages of that. And the remainder of the book is content, text, if you will, that describes how best to prepare oneself upon leaving the service. There are also many links to helpful career transition resources. So all of those are embedded in the ebook. Corporate Gray Online is an online employment website. It's a military niche employment website, meaning it's especially for those who've served in our armed forces. I always like to say this is for all ranks and all branches of service, both transitioning service members, veterans, military spouses, frankly, anyone in the military community who is looking for their next employment opportunity is strongly encouraged to welcome to use our website, Corporate Gray Online. The first step in using our site is to create a free account, and that's at corporategray.com/applicant/new. Frankly, I'm going to show you, if you're on the homepage of Corporate Gray, there's a link to create a new applicant account. After one creates a Corporate Gray Online account, we encourage you to upload your resume and then search and apply for jobs of interest. One of the additional services that we offer, we have a variety of sample resumes on our website, which are easily downloadable into Microsoft Word format. So for those of you in this webinar who have not yet created a resume, I will show you here shortly how you can download a sample resume into Microsoft Word format, and then of course modify that to align with your particular situation. We have a variety of career transition resources available through our website. We have a Corporate Gray blog. I think you'll find that it's chock full of great information. It's maintained by my colleague, Karen Durkee, who's a military spouse, as well as a military brat. Her father also served in the Air Force, as well as her husband. Karen does a phenomenal job in terms of the Corporate Gray blog and assisting us in all facets of our business. And lastly, through Corporate Gray Online, that's the site where you would register for our upcoming virtual military-friendly job fairs. Our newsletter, corporategray.com/cgnewsletter.html, is sent monthly to all of our Corporate Gray Online subscribers. So anyone who's created a free Corporate Gray Online account at this link will receive our monthly newsletter. The newsletter contains information on our upcoming job fairs. It will feature a select group of military-friendly employers. These are frankly companies that are helping us promote the book. They give us the support that we need to print and publish the book. Also, each newsletter will contain an advice article. Every newsletter, every Corporate Gray e-newsletter contains a unique advice article. And lastly, we also have a link to our transition assistance partners. So I am confident that you would find value in reading our monthly newsletter. Again, chock full of good information, specifically geared toward helping those who have served best position themselves for job search success. Corporate Gray virtual job fairs. Let me say here that we have been running job fairs continuously since 1997. So from 1997 to 2020, frankly, all of our job fairs were being done in person at various locations across the country, mostly in the Washington, D.C. area. We used to do them in Texas, in San Antonio, at the Live Oak Civic Center. We did them in the great state of Washington, in Florida, Maryland, and more. However, because of the COVID impact in 2020, in March of 2020, when COVID hit, we pivoted to doing virtual job fairs. So at this point, our job fairs are held once a month, virtually, i.e. online. We typically get in the vicinity of 20 companies and many job seekers who are looking to interact with those firms. As I said previously, our events are especially for those who serve, for vets and their military spouses, but open to all. Civilians are also welcome, especially those who have some connection to the government or to the military. Our job fairs give you the opportunity to meet with a great set of employers. Typically, because our job fairs are nationwide in scope, you're going to see many top employers participating. For example, at the job fair that we're going to be holding on February 22nd, you will see we're going to have Lockheed Martin, Leidos, SAIC, LMI, the Los Alamos National Laboratory, and more. All of the job all of the companies that are participating in our job fairs are shown on our job fair page. I'll show you that. You don't have to log in order to see them, nor do you have to log in to view their jobs. One of the differentiators, I believe, for our corporate grade job fairs is that we really try to tee this up and make it as easy as possible for you to succeed. And by that, I mean, we ensure that we get all the jobs of all the companies that are participating in our job fairs. So I'm going to show you here shortly how you'll be able to search all the jobs at Lockheed Martin, or all the jobs at SEIC or Leidos or LMI or any other participating companies like Workday. So again, what we strongly recommend, of course, and I'll talk to this later, is the importance of searching and applying for positions in advance. Ladies and gentlemen, I see the feedback from all of the companies that participate in our job fairs. And I can't stress strongly enough the importance to you of taking the time up front to make sure you spend the time to look for opportunities that you think align with your skills and interests and apply for positions in advance. Then, in order to get the best bang for the buck in terms of, which is free, in order to make get the best experience possible, you should be typing up why you think you're a good fit for those. Again, our site facilitates that for you. We all know that networking is king, right? So you're going to see on our job fair page the ability to click a LinkedIn network button that's going to show you who your first, second, and third level connections are at each organization participating in our job fairs. So again, another suggestion I make, be it our job fair or others, is to reach out to people that you know who are working for the companies that will be participating in the event and ask for their advice, ask for their G2. Hey, I see that your firm, your government agency is going to be participating in a corporate grade job fair on February 22nd. Can you give me some insights into how best to apply for a position? You know, what resume format, for example, works best for you? So any tips and suggestions? Do you know anyone who's getting ready to retire or who'll be separating from your organization? Maybe there's some unannounced positions that you can position yourself for as well. So again, I strongly recommend maximizing the use of your LinkedIn network contacts at each organization. And I say again, we tee that up for you by providing you with a link for each of the participating companies. You'll also have the ability to interact live via text chats and video. So a recruiter, you'll basically be getting in a line. In our context, they call them queues. You'll get in a recruiter queue for each company of interest. And when it's your turn to interact with that particular recruiter, you'll have the opportunity to dialogue via text chats. And if the recruiter wants to convert that to a video chat, you'll see that you'll be online meeting with that recruiter face to face. Also through the platform that we're going to be talking to here shortly is eCareer Fairs. eCareer Fairs is the virtual job fair platform that we'll be using. They also provide a general questions dialogue capability. So let's talk about the purpose of a virtual job fair. I would submit to you, whether or not it's our job fair or any other job fair that you might be participating in, the purpose of that job fair is for the companies, the government agencies, to identify candidates of interest. Please note, about 99% of the time, this is a first cut. It's not a final hiring decision. For the most part, those employers have to do vetting. In other words, they have to validate who you are, what you claim you have done, et cetera, et cetera. So again, I would go into this with an understanding that you want to maximize your time. You want to meet with as many companies and agencies as appropriate based on their openings. And again, the goal here is for you to help establish a relationship, to develop a relationship, a connection with those organizations with a view toward being considered in subsequent interactions that would lead to hopefully an offer of employment. So let's talk about virtual versus in-person job fairs. I thought it'd be helpful to discuss maybe some of the similarities and differences. So first, similarities. Whether or not you're going to be participating in an in-person job fair or a virtual job fair, upfront homework is key, right? The amount of work that you put into this upfront will significantly impact the results of your participation in the event. And for example, I said you ought to be searching and applying for positions in advance. You ought to be researching the companies. You ought to know about who their top 5 officers are. What are the primary products and services that that company offers? Who are their primary competitors? Maybe you can read some online articles about that company. I know when I transitioned from the Army, I was interested in a company called Booz Allen. I found an interesting article by their CEO who kind of gave me insights by reading that article into what was important to him and hence to Booz Allen. So again, research the companies, look at their websites, use other tools to help you garner as much information as you possibly can about those participating companies. As with an in-person event, you'll be interacting live, if you will, with the company recruiters. Of course, virtually, you're not there face-to-face, but you are live in the sense that you are interacting with that company in real time via text chats and possibly video. One difference of the virtual versus the in-person job fair is that unless you can clone yourself, which none of us can, the benefit of the virtual event is that you can be in multiple booth queues, booth lines at the same time. So we currently are at, I think, 15 companies. We probably will end up in about 20 companies for our February 22nd event. What you'll be able to do starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time on the 22nd of February is to get into multiple booth queues. Frankly, when you go to a company, you're going to be saying that you're going to select which recruiter you want to interview with. So you'll have the ability to get in line with a particular recruiter that you choose so that when it's your turn to interact with that recruiter, you'll know who you're going to be interacting with. Also, because you'll know the name of that recruiter in advance, you can, for example, then go to LinkedIn and research that person, research that recruiter. Maybe there's some commonality. For example, I'm from New York. Maybe I was a New York Giants fan or New York Jets fan. Maybe they might be. So again, look for some commonalities that could be used as an icebreaker to the dialogue that you will have with those recruiters. Post-event actions are the same. Again, I would submit to you that whether it's a virtual event or an in-person event, it behooves you, the job seeker, to send a follow-up email to those company recruiters in whom you're most interested in, to the recruiters in whom you're most interested in working for those particular companies. And I'll get into that more. So again, many similarities and differences between both the virtual and the in-person job fair. When it comes to our virtual job fairs, you will be required to pre-register in advance of the event. Again, I repeat, our events are free to the job seeker. What you would do on corporategray.com is you would click the job fairs link. In order to register for a job fair, you would have to log into our website. You can view the information in advance, but to actually register for the event, you'll want to log into Corporate Grand Line. You click the register link, and that will then bring you over to eCareer Fairs, where you can register there as well. You'll have to, and then upload your resume. So it's a two-step process. First, create the account on Corporate Gray. Once you're in the site, click the job fairs link. That takes you over to the eCareer Fairs website. You'll need to register for that particular event, for example, the February 22nd event. And through that process, you'll also be required to upload your resume. Optionally, you can also do things like upload a picture of you, right, your photo. And I think anytime that you can personalize your presentation, your profile, that's a good thing to do. So again, also, if I were you, I would be uploading my photo so that when the company recruiter is interacting with me, they see what I look like. Anytime a job seeker comes to one of our events, they register in advance, they upload the resume. We send all registered job seekers training materials on how to get the best and make the most of our events. Those training materials include a link to a video that actually shows you how the event works. It's a 30-minute training video that teaches you how the virtual job fair process works, specifically the Corporate Gray. You would also receive our Corporate Gray guide, the job seeker guide for that event. I think you'd find that helpful. And we have a series of short videos as well to help reinforce how to perform certain functions within the event. So when I say upfront work, yes, in addition to researching the companies, I also strongly recommend that you gain some familiarity with the virtual job fair platform. Again, for us, that's ecareerfairs.com. But regardless of whose job fair it is, whose virtual job fair, you should get comfortable with that platform. Again, we facilitate that. We provide a customized training video that helps you understand the entire process. Before the virtual job fair, we encourage you to research the companies. So as I said, you might want to go to our virtual job fair page. So for the February 22nd event, if you're on the homepage of Corporate Gray, to the left of the soldier, there's a link that says View Participating Employers. So click that link, View Attending Employers, and you'll see it pops up a job fair page. I'll show you that page here shortly and talk to it. In addition to that, I encourage you to use sites like hoovers.com, manta.com, glassdoor.com, and others to gain additional information about the participating companies and government agencies. Again, it's essential, it's useful. You will find it very useful to do your homework, research these companies, gain as much information as you possibly can, so that when you're interacting with those company recruiters, you're asking them research-based questions, they will be impressed if you go that route. As I said, when the job fair, even now, today, if you're interested in our February 22nd event, you can go to ecareerfairs.com, log in, create your account, upload your resume, and you'll see where you can go to the February 22nd virtual job fair. We already have 15 companies on that. You can visit each company's booth, you can view their job listings, and if they provided additional information, such as downloadable documents, you can do that as well. Before the virtual job fair, I said this earlier, I'll say it again, it behooves you to search and apply for positions in advance. So you can view all of the company's job opportunities, both on Corporate Gray online and on eCareerFairs. Let's start with corporategray.com. Again, when you're on our website, to the left of the soldier on the homepage, you're going to see a link that says View Attending Employers. When you click on the number of jobs for a given employer, it's going to launch a job search specific to that company or that government agency. You can then apply additional filters like state. You'll enter some keywords so that you can see who has job listings of the companies that are coming to this next event that align best with your background. And then what you want to do, of course, is apply to those positions that appear to be the best match with your skills, interests, and abilities. I would encourage you to open up a Microsoft Word document, a notepad, and enter there the name of the company, the requisition ID, i.e. the job position that you're interested in. Put down 3 reasons, 3 requirements that you have gleaned from that company about what they're looking for that position. And next to those 3 requirements, put down 3 reasons why you're a good match, right? And why am I suggesting you do this? So that when the event begins, you're in the midst of that event, you can quickly copy and paste the information as opposed to trying to hunt and peck on the keyboard under the pressure of doing that in a 10-minute interview with a particular company or government agency. So again, find companies of interest, use the tools that we provide, type up why you think you're a good fit so that you can quickly copy and paste once the event begins. So here is a screen capture of the February 22nd job fair page. So if you're at corporategray.com/job fair/486, you'll be on this page. There are 3 columns on this. You will see the first column is company name. So what do we preach when it comes to the job fair, when it comes to job search? First is research the company. So if you click on the names of any of those companies or government agencies, it's going to open up their company profile, which will allow you to read about that particular organization. That organization's write-up came from them, right? So they're telling you, here's information about our company. If you click on the number of jobs posted for a given company, like LMI, for example, has 309 jobs posted, it's going to run a job search specific to LMI. If you click on the LinkedIn Network button, it's going to run a people search for you. To be clear, when I click that LinkedIn Network button, I'm seeing different connections than Rodney is, than you will, right? So click the LinkedIn Network button so that you can see who your first, second, or third level LinkedIn connections are at that company. Of course, that requires you to have a LinkedIn account. So if you don't have a LinkedIn account, another recommendation is to make sure you create one. Go to linkedin.com. There is no charge. LinkedIn is the #1 business networking tool in the country and the world. Can't stress strongly enough how you can use LinkedIn to your advantage. Again, maximize the opportunity that you have to network with others, for example, other veterans who may be working for one of these companies. I mean, what a great resource to help you better understand how to position yourself for success in terms of that interaction with that company at the event. Before the virtual job fair, we also suggest that you prepare answers to commonly asked questions. Again, I type these up so that, for example, if the recruiter were to ask you, tell me about yourself, you can do it quickly, copy and paste. Or why are you interested in our company? Do you have a clearance? You want to relocate for the right opportunity? You should be prepared to answer questions like these. Not every position at our job fairs by any stretch requires a security clearance. Many do, right? So almost every position, though, requires U.S. citizenship. The companies that are coming to our events are particularly interested in hiring veterans, right? We're a military niche employment website. We're a military niche company. We've been in this business now for 27 years. Our goal, as I said earlier, is to help those who serve connect with employers having opportunities. The unemployment rate for veterans, I believe, is somewhere between 2.5% and 3%. It's exceptionally low. The market is strong. Now is the time to strike, right? But again, it's not just any job that you're looking for. You're looking for the best possible job consistent with the skills, interest, and experience you bring to the table. So let's keep that in mind. It's not just any job to say, yep, I'm now employed. It ought to be, here's a job that's best fit, right? Best fit based on what you want to do, what your roles and responsibilities would be, and what they hope to see from you. Okay, let's switch gears now. Let's talk about during the job fair. So some of the tactics that we recommend. First, when you log into ecareerfairs.com and you click the February 22nd event, you'll be in the event lobby. And from there, you can click on, for example, preview. You'll see which recruiters have registered for the event for that company. And you'll also see a link to their job board. So you click on the jobs link, and that will take you to their job board. All of their jobs will be accessible there. So again, those are two things. Click preview to view the recruiters who have registered for that company and who will be participating in the event. Click the jobs link to see and visit their job board. Some companies also have additional documents they have uploaded to their booth. You'll be able to download those additional documents as well. As I had said previously, during your interactions with these company recruiters, you'll be able to copy and paste information you have prepared before the event. So again, being able to copy and paste is so much quicker than trying to be able to type on the fly. Anytime you get a chance to ask a question, and frankly, these virtual job fairs, they should be a dialogue, not a monologue, right? So you're looking probably for about a 50-50 interaction between the recruiter talking, if you will, chatting, and you chatting. So make sure that you have questions that you want to ask the recruiters. You ought to be typing those up in advance as well. We suggest research-based questions, i.e. questions that will go a little bit deeper than a surface question. Once you're into the event has begun at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the 22nd. You can enter a recruiter queue for each company of interest. And when it's your turn to interact with them, as I said, you'll be interacting with them in the form of one-on-one text chats. However, the recruiter has the opportunity to convert those text chats to a video. So another suggestion I'm going to make here is dress the part, right? So even though this is a virtual event, if I were in your shoes, I would be dressed as if it were an in-person event. Because if the recruiter says, hey, I'd now like to take this, I'm interested in you and in what you have to offer in terms of your skills and experience, I'd like to now go to a video event. Again, you want to make sure that you're presenting yourself in the best possible light. So my suggestion, folks, is to dress in a suit so that if the recruiter opts to convert to the text chat to a video chat, he's seeing you, he's talking with you. Again, you can only, you want to make sure that you make the best possible impression, right, first time. At the end of the job, at the end of that interview interaction, let's say with that recruiter, I think it's fair game to ask them for their email address and what they view as next steps. So we are proponents of being proactive. And again, anytime you've got a chance to interact, you've done that interaction with that company recruiter, that government agency recruiter, they can say, no, I don't want to reveal my email address. Everything is done through our site. But if they do give you that email address, it gives you the chance to send a follow-up email and specifically reinforce your interest in their company and their opportunities. Also, I strongly recommend that you take notes on all the conversations you have with these recruiters. Take notes so that you can use those notes as your follow-up to the recruiter, as well use those notes when you're talking to your LinkedIn contacts who are working for those companies. So again, think it through, take a proactive, organized approach, follow these steps, and you'll be in good stead. I don't think it happens very often, but sometimes recruiters will ask the salary question early on. If you are asked about your salary requirements, my recommendation is tactfully defer that. It's a little bit early in the process. I can give you a better answer once I understand more fully what my roles and responsibilities would be. So again, be it an in-person job fair or a virtual job fair, sometimes company recruiters will ask about your salary requirements. Frankly, they're not doing that to negotiate with you on the spot. They're doing that to ensure that your time and their time will be worthwhile if they see a potential fit. If you are pressed to give a range, and he who gives that range first typically loses, so try not to do it. But if you are, make sure it's the lower end of what you would accept if you were offered the position. There are sites like salary.com, glassdoor.com, payscale.com, and others that will give you salary information for these companies. So regardless of whether or not they ask the salary question, probably makes sense for you to research the different positions and what those positions are paying typically across the industry, and then try to garner what those companies are specifically paying for those positions. I think another way to get salary information is to talk to fellow veterans who are currently working for those companies, perhaps in positions similar to what you are seeking. Typically, you would not want to ask the fellow veteran or a job seeker what they're making, but I think it's fair game to ask them, hey, for this type of position, can you give me a range as to what ABC company or ABC government agency is typically paying for someone with my educational degree, my certifications, and the like. So again, leverage your connections to fellow veterans who are working for those organizations. Try to get as much information as you possibly can, so when it's your turn to come to bat, you hit a home run. After the job fair is over, again, whether it's an in-person job fair or a virtual job fair, I strongly recommend that you follow up with the recruiters with whom you interacted. My recommendation would be follow up via email. That email should have 3 parts, 3 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, remind them where you met. For example, you and I met when we dialogued at the Corporate Gray Military-Friendly Job Fair on February 22nd. Second paragraph, explain how your skills and experience meet the needs of the company. As I said earlier, if I were you, I would say try to get to know what the major requirements are, the top 3 requirements are for that position, and then explain how your skills and experience align and fill the requirements for those three requirements. So again, align the position requirements, maybe the top 3 position requirements, with your skills and experience. Help that recruiter understand how what you bring to the table meets or exceeds their requirements. Third paragraph, reinforce your interest in the position in the company. Always thank them for the opportunity that they gave you to interact with them. Attach a resume that has been tailored to that opportunity. So sometimes in a virtual event, you're going to upload a generic resume, one that tries to cover all the bases. However, when you're going to send a resume and align it with a particular position, can't stress enough the importance of tailoring that resume so that you help the recruiter understand and the hiring manager understand how your skills and experience align nicely with their requirements. Also recommend that you follow up with your LinkedIn contacts at the participating companies with your references. Let them know, for example, where you stand with each of the companies that you're meeting with. Our Corporate Gray Job Fair schedule is shown here. You go to corporategray.com/job fairs. If you're on the homepage of Corporate Gray, you're going to see we have a link to the job fairs. Our events are held once a month from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can create a free account at that link, corporategray.com/applicants/new. That will get you into our that will put you on our distribution list so that you receive our monthly newsletter and you receive invitations to our upcoming virtual military-friendly job fairs. To register for a job fair, again, on Corporate Gray, once you're logged into the website, you click the job fairs link and then the register link corresponding to that desired event. Now I'd like to kind of give you an online demo. First, let's start with Corporate Gray. So on Corporate Gray, this is the homepage of Corporate Gray, right? So I am currently logged in as a job seeker. If I click on my resume, I'm logged in as Karen Durkee, my colleague. You're going to see that we have sample resumes shown here. Sample resumes. If you don't have a resume, click on a sample resume that aligns with your background. It will download that resume into Microsoft Word, where you'll be able to make whatever changes you would like, right? Of course, you want to modify that considerably. It's now your resume so that it best reflects the skills and experience that you offer. But again, clicking any of those sample resumes will download that into a Microsoft Word document, which you can easily modify. So it gives you the format. It should save you considerable time. Also, we have a government resume. What we have seen over and over again is many transitioning service members and veterans are interested in federal employment. Uncle Sam is a great employer. Also, for those of you who want to continue your government service, look at the federal resume as well. Typically, the federal resume is longer. It's more in depth than a corporate resume. Typically, a corporate resume is no more than 2 pages. A federal resume is typically 5, 6, 7 pages in length. So Uncle Sam wants to see more in depth in terms of your skills and experience. So I encourage you to take a look at that. If you're interested in finding jobs of interest, you click Find Jobs. You can, for example, put the word logistics in. If you want to look for companies, if you want to search all the logistics jobs for companies that will be participating in our February 22nd job fair, you put logistics in, search by companies attending next job fair, click the link. So there are 534 logistics jobs specific to our next event, the one on February 22nd. You see Leidos has logistics jobs, SAIC has logistics jobs, et cetera, et cetera. You can also search by occupation. You can put in a particular company name, right? You can also winnow it down by state. You can select one or more states. If you don't select the state, all are in play. So again, use this capability. You can also use Boolean search. So if you want to do a Boolean search like, hey, I'm interested in logistics and program manager positions, again, you want to search across all the companies participating in our next job fair. You do a search. So there are 14 logistics and program manager job opportunities. Now you can more easily look at this list and view the job. In order to apply, you have to be logged in. You can view the job at any point. You do not have to be logged into Corporate Gray Online, but to apply, you do have to be logged in. Our job fair schedule is shown here. As I said, we do 1 job fair a month. So here's our job fair schedule. If you want to see the companies that are registered to date, you simply click on this virtual military-friendly job fair. We concentrate obviously on the next event, next one being on February 22nd. So subsequently, we'll be working on the March, April, and May, obviously at a later point. Our transition guide link is here. We have a synopsis of each chapter of our book. We have lots of reference links. Again, that's the link to our book, The Military to Civilian Transition Guide, downloadable, viewable as an ebook. If you're interested in educational opportunities, Robert H. Smith School of Business is looking for veterans who want to pursue a degree in business. We have franchise link. We work with Fran Success. You're encouraged if you are interested in pursuing becoming your own boss through a franchise opportunity, we can offer you that as well. The Corporate Gray blog is here, right? So there are a variety of articles that talk specifically to the blog. And our newsletter is here. So this is our January newsletter. Of course, this will be changing at the beginning of February. I've logged into eCareer Fairs. So this is the event lobby for the February 22nd job fair, virtual job fair. that we'll be doing. Again, these are the companies that have registered to date. If you click on preview, you're going to see which recruiters, right? So I can see that Christine Lowry is a recruiter that is logged in or that had created an account for by SAIC. You could then go, for example, to LinkedIn and learn about Christine's background. And you can click on the jobs link. Clicking on the jobs link is going to provide you with a link to their job board. And you can do that for all the companies and government agencies that will be participating in our events. And there are more than one page. So at the end of this page, there's a subsequent page as well. I mentioned to you the corporate grade ebook, right? So this is our corporate grade ebook. Just like a physical book, obviously you can look at page by page. And if you click on a company name, it's going to take you to their website, right? Over here, you're seeing where you can jump directly to a chapter, right? Directly to a chapter of the book. So if you're interested in, for example, resumes, bingo, here's the resume chapter, right? And you can read and focus on resume creation. If you're interested in the sample resumes, bingo, you've got that as well. But they're downloadable through the website, right? But these are showing you the sample resumes that are in the book. So at this point, I would like, Rodney, if anyone has questions regarding the information that I presented, please feel free and I'd be happy to answer it. But let me close by saying, I think the market is great. The market's strong.
Yes.
Thank you to all of you for your service to our country. It's a great opportunity to be transitioning, but again, you want to do it smartly, right? Lots of job opportunities out there, but I'll say again, the goal is to find best fit. You find best fit by doing your homework, by reaching out to others who've already crossed over. They're already working for those companies, those government agencies. They are the best people for you to connect to give you that G2, that insights, that advice, like how best to succeed in terms of gaining employment. And the other point I want to make here is the importance of referrals. The importance of referrals. I know when I was at Booz Allen, probably a third of all Booz Allen hires were as a result of referrals. So there's nothing wrong with having your contact at any of these companies, any of these government agencies, refer you into their firms, right? So somehow when a person is referred in, they look better, right? So if the company has faith in the person who's making that referral, has credence, then they're going to give more, they will more carefully pay attention to any resume that he or she then provides, that perspective, that person's already working at the company. So again, Rodney, thank you very much for this opportunity. Hopefully your job seekers will get something out of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, first I want to say, Carl, thank you for your time. Thank you for your confidence in me to set up this event. I am so thankful. Carl, thank you for your service. And thank you for everything that you've done for the community, because in my job search, when I was searching for work, I did not see these kinds of resources available like what you're providing. So even as I'm listening to your presentation, I was up here setting up my account myself, like, wow, let me see this stuff, all this other information that he has there. So as a person that transitioned out, it's great to see that you're saying, you know what, I'm remembering what I went through, that if I could pay it forward and make it easier for someone else in their job search, you've done an amazing job. So Carl, thank you so much for your time. We have questions and I want to be respectful of your time. So I'm going to go ahead and get to them. But thank you, Carl, for this very informative presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, those that are here on Teams and those watching on LinkedIn, even from the feedback I'm seeing there, I'm getting the wow kind of, responses. So that's great. So let's get to these questions. Okay. Ken says, you mentioned using a general resume for online fairs. Is that not frowned upon by your partner employers?
Some sites will only allow you to upload a single resume. So I'm saying here, if that's the case, if you have to upload a single resume, that's going to be a little bit more generic than if you were to submit a tailored resume. I say, if you're going to apply for a specific position, you want to tailor that resume to the max. So my comments about a general resume is for those sites that only allow you to upload a single resume for the purpose of the virtual job fair, that's where we're saying a general resume that covers multiple bases might make sense, as opposed to being very specific, and that specificity might preclude others from seeing how you could be a potential fit at their organization.
Yes, sir. And that's what he's saying too, is he's like, that makes sense. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you for the question, Ken. I appreciate you. A lot of these other questions are coming in from LinkedIn. However, ladies and gentlemen on Teams, if you have any questions, seize the moment. Corporate Gray is an amazing corporation. This is, I'm telling you, I'm so glad to be affiliated with them. This is great. So let's keep it going. What's the common mistake you see people make when they attend virtual events, applicants? What is the common mistake you see people make when they attend virtual events? Good question.
Yeah, very good question. So I think the common mistake is not searching and applying for positions in advance. I can't tell you strongly enough that the recruiters want to help the veteran, but you really are doing yourself a disservice if you're not teaming it up and helping them understand why you're the fit. So the biggest common mistake that I see is not searching and applying for positions in advance and then using your time during the event to reinforce why you think you're a good fit. Or another mistake sometimes, that's a common mistake, is asking questions only if you're going to use the general questions box for the eCareer Fairs provide, then ask general questions, not questions that are specific to you.
Gotcha.
Right? Questions that would have relevance to other job seekers as well.
That's beautiful. That was a good question. That's a good way to start off this question and answer. That's fantastic. Okay, another one via LinkedIn. I have a 18-year-old son who is a recent high school graduate. How can he use Corporate Gray's services if he's never worked before? Another good question. They're coming with him today, Carl.
That's great, Ronnie. Keep them coming. So the 18-year-old son or daughter is welcome to still create a Corporate Grand Line account. You're going to see when you go to create a Corporate Grand Line account, we call them an applicant account. There are field items that, for example, when it says branch of service, we have other, right? So not every position requires a 4-year degree or a master's degree or PhD by any stretch. So we encourage the children of military families to participate in our events if they're adults, right? So if they're 18 or older, they're certainly welcome and encouraged to look for job opportunities, because the more, because it's a range of positions, right? So when we get a large number of companies participating, we've had up to 30 companies participating in our events. When we get a range of companies, their openings can span the gamut from junior level positions to senior level positions. Okay. So I don't care, frankly, if you are a graduating high school student or you've just completed your MBA from Harvard, whatever the case may be, it's to your advantage to research, interact with companies. You never know where that right opportunity may be.
And via LinkedIn, they were typing as you were speaking. Can my son search by entry level positions on Corporate Gray website?
In keywords, for example, they could put in the keyword, you might put in quotes entry level and logistics.
Entry level and logistics. Okay.
If they or whatever the word might be, right? Entry level in quotes and whatever the keyword is of interest.
Okay. Hope that answers your question. But these are great questions, so keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. Even the ones here on everyone on Teams. I mean, a lot of them are coming from LinkedIn, but feel free to, if you want to ask questions on here, raise your hand and we'll go ahead and get them answered. Keeping it going, are there any spousal preferences through Corporate Gray?
Certainly, we have a spouse category. So spouses are encouraged to create an account and use our site to find positions that are applicable. So whatever those spousal, whatever their background is, just like with the military person, certainly they're welcome and encouraged to use the site. Yes, they will find opportunities, you would think, right? So again, it's not there aren't positions just for spouses. There are positions that anyone can access. Rodney, let me offer one other question that others may have, and that is, how far in advance should I participate in a virtual job fair? So if my ETS is a year out, year and a half out, should I be participating in a virtual job fair, ours or others? And let me answer my own question in this way. Let me say that most companies will not get serious about you until you're in that 60 to 90-day window, but you will do yourself a disservice if you wait until the 2 or 3 month mark before you're ready to separate or retire or transition. So
Yes,
I
sir.
would encourage people, even if they're a year out, year and a half out, participate. Try to get
Right.
information from the recruiter as to, hey, what can I do between now and then to better position myself? For example, can I go get an IT certification that might make? Maybe there's a Microsoft certification that I can do relatively quickly. So take advantage of the opportunity, but at the same time, be respectful of the recruiter's time. Hey, I'm not right. I won't be transitioning until 2025, but I'm interested in your company and learning more about what it would take for someone like me to be seriously considered.
Right. And Carl, so this is, I can't help but to remember how I felt when I transitioned out, and I didn't know anything about corporate gray or any of these other organizations. And that's why I'm glad, some people, they'll say, well, nobody helped me, so I'm not helping anybody else. And I'm glad that I'm like, you know what, I'm getting the education. I'm able to help that someone else, because when I got out, it was like, well, here's your DD Form 214. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And you're like, where do I go? So these services that you're providing, this information that you're providing us about Glassdoor, et cetera, this is information that I'm sure someone's on here jotting this all down, and trying to get this information. Because, unless we have situations like this, environments like this, where we have these kind of discussions, you just never know. You go through SFL TAP and it's like, well, here you go. Here's your resume. Okay. But they don't know nothing about corporate gray. They don't know anything about any other organization. So this is huge. And I have somebody here asking, I am not military affiliated, but did I hear you correctly that I can use, as a civilian, I can use corporate gray as well?
Yes, that's correct. Good question. Civilian job
That is a
seekers
good
are
question.
welcome to use our site. Yes, they can. And
Yes,
something else, sometimes maybe a veteran is close to being qualified for a particular position, but let's say they need some additional training. So one of the popular organizations that participates in our event is Department of Veterans Affairs, Veterans Readiness and Employment, right? So perhaps there is a training course of some duration that would put you in better stead to be considered by a company. So maybe you meet most of the requirements for that position, but maybe there's some skill or aptitude that you don't have, perhaps by A, volunteering, excuse me, or B, maybe the VA, maybe you qualify. And again, it's, you have to, that's between the service member and the VA in terms of qualifications, but maybe there's some training course that they could take to help close that gap.
Gotcha. And you know what, Carl, the next time that we schedule something like this, I'll make sure to open it up to the general public. I know, since you're saying that, people can use it if they're skilled and they're looking for work, especially if it's like federal jobs and stuff like that. I mean, corporate gray is a excellent place to go. So I think we're all getting that education that now we can turn to some of our friends, civilian friends, and say, hey, get on this site and take advantage of this as well. So I'll make sure that we'll talk about this more offline, but it's good to know that this is something that we can open up to civilians as well. And they can get, that just advertises corporate gray even more. So that's fantastic.
Yep, excuse me, Rodney, but just to be clear, most of those employers are looking for some type of affiliation with the government.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
civilian, some affiliation with DoD or any of the other government agencies.
Okay.
Would be preferable. So part of that greater military community.
Yes, sir. So
the veteran.
Yes, sir. So even like people that are here at Fort Bliss, if they're civilian, they're working on base. Those are the kind of community that you're talking about. Somehow, some way, if you're military affiliated, working on base, something like that, dependent somewhere along those lines.
Exactly.
I got you. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. The next question was what were the other sites you recommended that we use versus Glassdoor, please?
Manta. MANTA was one, Hoovers.com. And again, you've got my slides.
Yes.
Right? So I sent you all of my slides in PDF format. So you're welcome to share those slides with any and all of the people who are in this webinar.
We'll do. And if anybody's interested in it, I will put if you're interested in having this information, I will put my email address in here. Just let me know, that you would like to have that, because I don't want to just send it to just anybody who really doesn't isn't going to use it. I want to make sure it's getting used. So please, there's my email address. Please let me know you like that information. I'll send it to you. Let me keep it going. Are there spousal pressure for here? Okay. Okay, Mr. Savino, are you hiring for corporate gray itself? Oh, okay. That's
Good
good. That's
question. Yeah, no, we're a micro corporation. We're very small. I appreciate that question, by the way.
yeah, that was
But we're
good.
not.
They must feel
Good
some
question.
positive vibes from you. So they're
Yeah,
like, hey,
I
I
hope
want to.
so. Yeah, I hope so. But at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's
Yes.
we're bringing people who are looking for their next gig, their next employment opportunity to the employers, right? So we're kind of like middlemen in that regard, in the sense that what we're stressing is to those employers who want to hire veterans, we're giving you direct access to vets. So you can figure out, the veteran can figure out where your best fit is. And again, I say, do your homework. The number one suggestion that I have is network with others who
Yes.
have already made that transition.
Yes, yes, please do. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're needing help with resumes, I mean, depending on where you're at, I mean, there are local job centers with veteran services that can assist you. We have veteran career advisors. We also have veteran employer liaisons. The veteran career advisors will sit you down. You can go to your local job center and let them know, hey, I'm looking for veteran services. You would then speak to a veteran career advisor who will sit down with you. They will then assist you with putting together resumes. They will teach you how to tailor your resume to any kind of jobs that you're interested in through corporate gray or any other corporate, any other company. Well, if you're trying to apply for work, you come to them and you let them know what kind of services you need, and they will assist you with that. So please take advantage of that. Mr. Savino, thank you for your time, and hello from Italy. Do you offer online workshops? This event is fantastic. I'm glad you got something out of this.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Hello from
Unfortunately,
Italy.
we don't. We're a very small business. Our principal services, our information is really provided through the website, through
Hmm.
the blog. But we don't. We have previously, Karen and I have both talked locally at local military installations here in the Washington, D.C. area. So I did that for about 17 years.
Right,
Twice a month, we'd go and do a workshop, give a talk.
right,
It wasn't really a
right.
workshop, but it was a presentation, a talk. But unfortunately, that's not something that we're able to offer.
Call maybe as a suggestion, sure. Maybe as feedback. I don't know. You let me know. What about if there's like one of those pre-recorded workshops that maybe you can put together and it's on your site, maybe as an added, just added something extra that even though you can't do it on a regular basis, got it. But the thing, maybe there's certain titles, how to apply for, like what you just did today. Maybe there's, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe there's a way to maybe pre-record a workshop and then say, hey, it's on our site as well. I don't know. It's just an idea.
That's a
I don't know.
that's an excellent idea. I think that Karen's already done that. So I think
Oh,
if you
did
look
she?
at our
Okay.
corporate grade blog, so for
Okay.
example, Karen gave talks on LinkedIn, how to effectively use LinkedIn from a military spouse perspective or military family members. So
Okay.
we have a variety of those types
Yes.
of videos. I think mostly through our blog.
Yes, and I'm going to it right now, and I see one of them that she did 9 steps for a successful transition. So it is on there, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to go ahead and go to the blog section. And I apologize, Carl. I was just thinking about it while
Yeah,
you
that's
was
good.
talking, so I had to look and see for myself. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, there's all develop your transition plan, obtain transition assistance, build your network. There's a few of them here that you should take advantage of. Go to the Corporate Gray website and click on blogs, and it's all right there. Great information. Corporate grades is amazing. Love it. Via LinkedIn, can you please explain the difference in your services versus recruit, military, etc.? It gets very confusing. Good
Well,
question. Ooh,
that's a very good
heavy
question.
question.
They're also a fine firm. They do, I believe, I can't speak to recruit military, but I believe they offer similar services,
Hmm.
right? So I can only say so much in that regard. I can
Right,
honestly, I can only talk to what corporate gray does. So I'm a little bit
right.
reticent about talking about other organizations. All I will say here is that they're a fine firm, that they offer
Hmm.
similar services.
Right, and it's understandable, ladies and gentlemen. There's several organizations out there that offer resume assistance, employment opportunities, and stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, you're here for a reason, and you're interested. And I'm glad that everyone that, whether you're on LinkedIn or you're on Teams, you are educating yourself as a whole on all the resources that are out there. And then it just depends on what you want to do. But you are seeing right now what corporate grade offers, that you understand why Rodney Washington wanted to have Mr. Carl Savino on this call to educate you on their services. I have not seen too many organizations that offer these kind of services, these kind of blogs, all this kind of information the way that corporate grade does. That's why every time, Carl, you see it every time you're promoting your virtual job fairs, I'm promoting it and everything. I believe in corporate grade. I don't get anything from corporate grade except the satisfaction of knowing that we work together to help the community. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you will set up an account on the corporate grade website and go ahead and register for the upcoming job fairs that they have going on, as well as take advantage of the services and the blogs that are on there. There's several on here that you should take advantage of. So, only thing I'm seeing as we're getting ready to close, all I'm seeing right now, Carl, is that this was a great event. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
Excellent presentation. Good evening from England. Thank you, Team Corporate Gray. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl and Rodney. So it seems like everybody was very impressed. I'm getting the thumbs up and everything. So people, especially watching on LinkedIn, there's more people watching on LinkedIn and they're very impressed with corporate grade. So I think overall this event has been very successful because it is just a lot of great information here. And Miss Karen, you can view more corporate grade videos on YouTube in the corporate grade videos channel. Hey, Karen. Good to have you with us. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. And it's good to have you. And thank you for all that you do as well, Karen. Thank you so much. It looks like we have someone who is typing up another question. We're getting ready to close in another minute, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be respectful of Carl's time as well as Karen. So if you have any last minute questions, let's go ahead and make it happen. Okay, thanks, Rodney. Not a problem. Thank you, Karen. Thank you and Carl for what you do. Corporate Gray, number one. Corporate Gray, number one. Okay, any other questions? It doesn't look like it, just nothing but thank yous. Excellent presentations. I'm registering for Corporate Gray as we speak. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's what we wanted. So we're going to, Rodney, will you have Corporate Gray back again? I logged on late. Yes, if Carl's schedule and Karen's schedule allows, I would love to have Corporate Gray back more often, maybe once a month or maybe every other month. However way, Carl, you and we can talk about that offline. But depending on his availability, yes, we can definitely come back often to help educate the community on the services at Corporate Gray. So with that being said, doesn't look like there's any other questions. Anything you want to say, Carl or Karen, before we get ready to close?
No, thank you. In closing, again, I respect and appreciate all those who listened. Wish them nothing but the best in their job search. Appreciate the opportunity to provide some advice, and yes, hopefully they'll have a great job search transition. Great success.
Yeah, and they do. And they said, when did you say your next job fair will be, please?
February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. So
Eastern.
We do 3-hour Eastern time. So we
Eastern
do 3-hour
time.
events.
Okay, so remember that, ladies and gentlemen, it's Eastern time, February 22nd. Yep, Ken is watching out for us. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Well, it looks like that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Carl, thank you again for your services and your support to the local community. Same thing to you, Miss Karen. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes Corporate Gray. I hope that you got a lot out of this. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Please sign up with their website, attend their virtual event, and we look forward to speaking with you soon. You'll see me advertise the next time myself and Corporate Gray will collaborate to have another event just like this. But please sign up and attend their February 22nd event. With that being said, my name is Rodney Washington. I am the Veterans Resource Coordinator for the Texas Workforce Commission, Texas Veterans Leadership Program. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Big shout out to Team Corporate Gray. Stay connected with them. And also, Carl, you are on LinkedIn, correct, sir?
Yes, I am. Please feel free to connect with me.
There it is. There it is. Connect with him on LinkedIn. I just want to make sure I put that plug out there for you, Carl.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Y'all have yourselves a great day, a great afternoon. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will be in contact with you soon. Big shout out again to Corporate Grade. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day. Thank you, Carl.
Thanks again, Robbie. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Have a good one.